She snapped, "Whatever. I don't even want your help." When I stepped back from her wedding plans, I replied, "Perfect." When her dream venue rang to cancel because I'd been the one quietly footing the bill through my event planning company, help all of a sudden mattered. I'm 29, male, and I run a small event planning business I built from the ground up after dropping out of college. It's been a grind, no sugarcoating it. But after 6 years, we're finally making good profit and have a respected name in the community. My younger sister, Melody, 26, got engaged last January to her boyfriend, Garrett. Fine. Cool. I was happy for her. She instantly jumped into planning a massive wedding. We're talking 200+ guests, luxury venue, the whole fantasy. Our parents died in a car accident when we were teens, and we both got some inheritance. Melody blew hers years ago on shopping sprees and trips abroad. I put mine into my business. Here's where the chaos began. Melody just assumed I'd cover everything through my company. Not asked. Assumed. She walked into my office one day in February, binder in hand, Pinterest boards ready, already calling it our wedding vision. I told her I'd gladly help, but we needed to talk budget. She laughed out loud. "Come on, you own the company. Just write it off as marketing." I explained, "That's not how accounting works." I offered her a family discount, 40%, off our usual packages, which was already a huge favor given my overhead. She glared at me like I'd suggested she dumpster dive. "You're seriously charging me? Your only sister, the last family you have." I stayed calm and told her while I loved her, I couldn't just donate $30K plus in services. I have staff, rent, vendors to pay. I said we could work out a payment plan, or I could cover a few pieces as her gift. That's when she exploded. She started screaming in my office, my place of work, with clients in the waiting room, calling me selfish, saying Mom and Dad would be ashamed of my greed, that I cared more about cash than family. My office manager, Deb, had to escort her out. 2 days later, Melody texted me a wall of messages saying Garrett's family was shocked I wouldn't help with the wedding, and how humiliating it was to admit her brother, who owns an event company, refused to support her big day. I replied, "I offered you a massive discount and flexible payment options. If you refuse, that's your decision." Her reply, "Whatever. I don't need your help. Garrett's mom has connections. We'll have a better wedding without your tacky company." I said, "Perfect." Then I did something petty. I called Rosewood Manor, the venue she wanted, and cancelled the soft hold I'd placed on her date. She didn't even know I'd already put down a deposit through my business account to save the spot while she decided. The venue trusts me, we've done tons of events there. They dropped the date instantly. Fast forward to March. I get a call from Rosewood's coordinator asking if I meant to cancel. Apparently, Melody had gone to her tasting only to be told her booking didn't exist and the date was taken. The meltdown was, by their account, epic. Then my phone blew up. Melody, Garrett, his mom. How could I sabotage her wedding? Don't. I understand how hard it is to book venues. I only responded to Melody, "I thought you didn't need my help. Garrett's mom knows people, remember?" The kicker, Garrett's mom's connections were just her hairdresser who once arranged weddings 10 years ago and her neighbor with a decent backyard. But it got juicier. Update 1. The venue drama was only the start. After losing Rosewood, Melody scrambled for other options. Every decent place was booked or out of her budget. She finally settled on a spot called the Grandview, not awful, just not the castle vibe she craved. She ghosted me during this, but I heard from friends she Was telling everyone I'd blacklisted her. From venues citywide, like I was some mafia boss of weddings. The delusion was strong. Last week, Tony, my florist supplier, calls me laughing. Yo, did your sister really try to place a $5K flower order under your company account? Apparently, she called, claimed she was my partner, and told him to just put the massive order on my tab. That I'd handle it later. Tony's worked with me for 4 years. He knows the truth. He told her he'd confirm with me first, and she hung up. An hour later, she texts me, can't you at least cover the flowers? It's the least you could do. Me, no. Her, I already told everyone the flowers are handled. Me, that's a you problem. Her, you're so bitter. No wonder you're single. K. Then she tried another angle. She slid into my employee's DMs. My assistant Rachel showed me screenshots. Melody offered her $500 cash to help with vendors on the side behind my back. The messages were wild. Hey Rachel, I know you work for my brother. Want to make extra money? Just use his vendor list. Don't tell him. When Rachel didn't answer right away, Melody wrote, I know he lies about me. I'm his only family. He's jealous I'm marrying first. You're probably sleeping with him. That's the only reason you'd stay loyal. Rachel sent it all to me. I gave her a raise. Turns out she'd tried it with Kevin too, my 19-year-old junior planner. She offered him $200 to steal my vendor list. Kevin's reply. He sent her a laughing gif and blocked her. Then Garrett's mom, Patricia, called me. A woman I'd met maybe 3 times lectured me about family values, how blood is thicker than water. I let her finish, then asked, Patricia, are you offering to pay for the wedding? Dead silence. Because Melody wanted a champagne wedding on a soda budget, and refused my discount. Unless Patricia was cutting a check, I wasn't interested. She grumbled about selfish young people and hung up. Update 2. Everything collapsed last week. Melody kept moving forward with her scaled down wedding, Grandview venue, supermarket, flowers, a bargain bin Instagram, photographer. She was making it work, until she escalated. She showed up at my apartment at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday, pounding the door like cops. My neighbor almost called the police. I opened, and she stormed in, mascara streaked, waving her phone with her bank app open. I need $8000, she said. Not asked. Demanded. For what? The venue wants payment in full. Garrett's mom bailed. You have it. I saw you spend $15K on that stupid charity gala. That was designated money, my money, spent how I chose. She screamed it was hers because I'd once considered gifting it. She threw her phone at me. It shattered on the wall. Then she shrieked that I'd broken her phone. I told her to leave or I'd call the cops. She stormed out saying, you'll regret this. The fallout was immediate. My business line started buzzing with angry clients cancelling. 3 long-term customers tried to terminate contracts. Why? Because Melody had been spreading rumors I was going bankrupt, had lost all vendor ties, and couldn't deliver. She told people I'd begged her to let me do her wedding for free to save my company, but she turned me down because I wasn't reliable. This wasn't just petty. This was an attempt to take down my livelihood. I was done playing polite. First thing, I spoke to my lawyer. Turns out, spreading lies to intentionally damage a business is defamation. And I had multiple witnesses. I sent Melody a cease and desist letter, copying Garrett and his mom. Made it clear, if one more person called me about those rumors, I'd file a lawsuit. Then I pulled the nuclear move. Remember that insurance money I mentioned? What I hadn't said was, our parents' life policies had a special note. I was listed as beneficiary, but with a request to put funds toward Melody's wedding someday. Not enforceable. Just a wish. I'd always intended to honor it, which was why I gave her the massive discount in the first place. But nothing. Said I had to hand it to her directly. So I took the $15,000 I'd set aside and paid the grand view in full for the weekend after her date. Then I threw a huge charity gala for the children's hospital. We raised $22,000 toward their pediatric wing. And I made sure everyone knew. Posted everywhere, shared photos, wrote about honoring my parents' memory, helping kids. Tagged family friends, included pictures of mom and dad, the works. The response was overwhelming. Local news covered it. The hospital sent me a framed thank you letter. Everyone talked about what a beautiful tribute it was. But the best part came from my parents' closest friends, the Johnsons, who'd kept their distance during the drama. Mr. Johnson actually cried on the phone, saying, "Your parents would be so proud." They donated another $5,000 in my parents' names. Then the domino effect started. Other friends gave too. By the end, the fundraiser brought in over $40,000. The hospital announced they'd be naming the new playroom after my parents. The board meeting was packed with half the city's elite. Guess who learned about all this? Through Facebook. Melody found out when Patricia called her, raving about how wonderful I was and how proud mom and dad would be. The irony of her spreading rumors that I was broke, while I just dropped 15 grand on charity, nearly broke Patricia's brain. She even called Melody at work, on speaker, with her book club. While all the women gushed about me. Someone even said, "Your brother's such a good man. You must be thrilled he's planning your wedding." Melody had to stand there and admit, "Actually no, I wasn't." According to a co-worker who texted me, the silence was brutal. Melody called me screaming, not texting. Calling, "You used my wedding money for a write-off. It wasn't yours." "No, it was money I set aside for you, which you said you didn't need. That was meant to honor our parents' memory. I think sick kids did that better than flower arches." She cursed me out for 5 straight minutes, evil, manipulative, life ruiner. I finally said, "Melody, you tried to destroy my company because I told you no. You lied to my clients. You tried to steal from me. And all while swearing you didn't need me. You're right. You don't. So stop calling." Then I hung up and blocked her. Final update. The wedding was last weekend. I didn't go, obviously, but oh boy, did I hear about it. The week before, Melody made one last shot. Garrett called me at work. We'd maybe spoken 5 times ever. "Hey, man. I know things are rough, but could you reconsider? She's been crying every night. It's her dream wedding." I asked, "Garrett, did she tell you she tried to wreck my business?" He hesitated. "She said you two disagreed. She told clients I was bankrupt. Tried to bribe my staff to steal vendor lists. Attempted fraud under my account. That's not a disagreement, Garrett. That's sabotage." Long silence. Then, she said, "You were just being petty." I explained the discount I offered. She refused, said she didn't need me, then tried to ruin me when she realized she did. That's the truth. He hung up. Later I heard they had a massive fight. Her maid of honor even posted cryptic quotes on Instagram about ignoring red flags. Now the wedding itself, remember that cheap photographer? When you pay $300 for full coverage, you get exactly that. He showed up drunk, late by 2 hours, took maybe 100 pictures, half blurry, and left before the cake cutting for another gig. Worse, he posted during the reception complaining about cheap clients wanting miracles. Actually tagged the venue, the Flowers grocery store hall. Garrett. And the groomsmen spent 3 hours in the parking lot stuffing vases. My friend who works there said she came at dawn in pajamas, crying, and bought every white flower in stock. $400 worth. And it looked exactly like $400 flowers arranged by hungover dudes. The venue she'd only seen online photos. Turns out the ballroom was right beside a sports bar. Their first dance was backed by the sound of football fans screaming. Someone even yelled touchdown during the dip. The food. Budget package, frozen chicken, mushy veggies, no veggie option. 3 people got food poisoning. But here's the kicker. Garrett's best man called me after. Said Garrett was doubting everything, not marriage itself, but who Melody really was. He'd never seen her so vindictive. At the reception, she gave a 15-minute speech bragging about how she planned everything alone, how it proved her independence, and hinted that I tried to sabotage her. Multiple people filmed it. Garrett's face looked like he wanted the floor to swallow him. Patricia hid her face in her hands. Garrett's dad pulled out a flask. People who knew the truth sat in shocked silence. Patricia was overheard saying she was worried about Melody's grip on reality. The cake, bought from a Facebook seller. It was lopsided, frosting melting, tasted like sugared cardboard. The topper fell off into someone's champagne. Nobody noticed. For 5 minutes. The DJ, Garrett's cousin, with Spotify. Wrong first dance song. Forgot bouquet toss. Playlist switch to death metal mid father-daughter dance. As for my company, it's thriving. The charity gala landed us 3 new luxury clients. Those who almost cancelled renewed after learning the truth. Rachel just booked the mayor's daughter's sweet 16. Turns out the mayor's wife was at the fundraiser and loved it. Melody, haven't spoken since blocking her. Apparently she tells people I'm dead. Fine. By me. The hospital just announced my parents' playroom dedication. I'm bringing my team, the real family. Sometimes revenge isn't dramatic. It's just stepping back and letting people face their own consequences. Melody swore she wanted a wedding without me. She got it. And I sleep like a baby. Edit. Yes, this is real. No, I don't feel guilty. Yes, I've been to therapy about my parents' death and my sister. My therapist says standing up to her was a breakthrough. And to those saying I should have just paid. Why? To reward tantrums and lies. She blew her inheritance years ago. Not my job to bail her out. And no, I won't reconcile. She tried to destroy my livelihood. Family doesn't excuse that. The charity idea came from Deb. Actually, she said, if you're going to spend it anyway, make it matter. Best advice I've ever taken.